Greetings. I'm Pastor Eric Smith, and this is Wakening Grace. Ellen is a friend of ours who lives close by. We spoke on the phone yesterday because she wanted to share a couple of things. She engages with both St. Andrew's worship services and Wakening Grace. She wanted to share with me her response to the last Sunday's sermon in the Character series. Ellen is a teacher, and she did not agree with me that values are not being taught in schools like they once were. She suggested that the real issue is accountability. She said, people have been taught good values, but they are not held accountable when they act in a manner that doesn't uphold them. Then she told me a story. After hearing the sermon and thinking about her response to it, she drove past a nearby shopping center. Out in front was a stand selling hats and banners supporting the movement to keep President Trump in office. She noticed that one of the banners on display was offensive. It had just 2 words. The first word is a 4-letter word that starts with F. You know what it is. F, second word, Biden. Ellen thought, that's not right. I don't want this in my neighborhood. People are entitled to their political opinions, but that wording on display in my neighborhood is not okay. She decided to stop and talk to the person selling these things. She didn't want to, but she said she had to. She hates this level of confrontation because she always cries, but she did it anyway. Ellen parked her car and went to the stand. There was an older teenage youth on duty. She went to him, she greeted him, and then she asked, had he gone to school? He was confused by the question, so she asked again, had he gone to school? He replied, yes, that he had. Ellen said, I am a teacher, and I'm old enough to be your grandmother. I want to know, would your teacher approve of that banner? His eyes were downcast, and he said, no. Ellen said, do you think it's appropriate to have that language on display? He continued looking down and said, no. Ellen said, I don't either, and I don't think you should have it up like this in a public place. Then she left. She walked to a nearby CVS. She bought a Coke, some chips, and a candy bar, knowing that these were things the young man would probably like, then walked back to the stand. She reached out and touched the young man's hand and gave him the snacks and told him she cared about him. And then she turned to leave. As she turned, she saw the offending banner had been removed. Ellen acted on her values, even though doing that put her in a position that she didn't want to be in. She asked for accountability from a young person without knowing how he would respond, and she affirmed his personhood in the process. Thank you, Ellen, for sharing this. May we all find character enough within to ask for accountability from ourselves and from others with God's grace. Will you pray with me? O God, thank you for those who have taught me the values I hold. Help me to hold true to the good character I know you want for me. This is my prayer. Amen.